Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, July 5th, 2018. I'm Yvette Bowens with the details. The PRO of the SVG Human Rights Association, Jeannie Oliver, is calling for partnerships between local civil society groups in sensitizing OECS member states on eventually removing the death penalty from the law books. Oliver, who was speaking with SVG-TV News, said the death penalty is a serious human rights issue and the local Human Rights Association has engaged regional and international bodies to develop a 3-year action plan to advance their cause and looks forward to the participation of local civil society groups.
What is anticipated is that in each Caribbean country there is a focal point, and that focal point will develop and implement a program to speak with civil society, persons across our Eastern Caribbean and Barbados, about educating them and informing them about the death penalty as a human rights issue. Because we want to build a strong civil society movement across the OECS and Barbados that will advocate for its abolition.
Oliver said that up to €3,000 in funding is available for interested persons, pointing out that each human being has the right to life and not to take that of another.
To realize that human life is a gift from God, a gift, and He didn't ask us to take it away. He gave it to us, and only He should have the power to take it. So, if you are interested, any civil society organization, call the Vincy Human Rights Association, 784-456-2656, or email us at svghumanrights@gmail.com and get involved. You have until August to address the issue of the development of a project proposal.
The newly installed president of the Caribbean Court of Justice, Vincentian Adrian Saunders, has been hailed for his work and deemed as the right person at this time to take the court forward. At his swearing-in on Wednesday in Jamaica, as part of the opening ceremony of the 39th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in Jamaica, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said he has no doubt that the CCJ is in good hands under the leadership of Justice Saunders.
He's a very extraordinary man. He is a very special gift to our region. I don't want to build him up and to suggest that he is without any flaw. But justice in our region is in very, very safe hands. And I congratulate him. I know that his dear wife Marilyn keeps him grounded, and Yuri and Yannick. I will tell you this, it is a matter of great regret that the country from which he hails, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is not as yet a member of the CCJ in its appellate jurisdiction. I tried in 2009 and failed. Maybe I will try again.
Also congratulating Justice Saunders on his appointment was Prime Minister of Belize, Dean Barrow, who said though the CCJ was chartered under circumstances not completely free of doubt and that naysayers still remain today, and even with its membership still less than optimal, Wednesday's swearing-in ceremony of the court's third president was quite significant.
It underscores the certainty that, growing pains notwithstanding, our CCJ is here to stay, and it gives a chance to celebrate the accomplishments, indeed the triumphs, that withal the court has early on been able to secure. The CCJ's record of stellar performance has been in no small measure due to its leadership, and Justice Adrian Saunders, only the third CCJ president, is set to continue what is already becoming, in so short a time, an indelibly established line of distinction. Whatever criticisms may still be aimed at the court, no one can doubt the breadth of its scholarship and the depth of its reasoning. And I say this as one whose administration has suffered several reversals at the court's hands. I am nevertheless happy to proclaim my complete confidence in the court. I have strongly disagreed with certain outcomes. Strongly disagreed with certain outcomes. Let me repeat that. But there has never, in my mind, been any doubt as to the integrity of the process that produced those outcomes.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who is attending the CARICOM summit in Montego Bay, told Television Jamaica that there are unrealistic aspects of the report on the Caribbean single market and economy prepared by the Commission led by former Jamaica Prime Minister Bruce Golding. The future of the CSMA and the Bruce Golding Commission report are among the agenda items down for discussion at a closed session of CARICOM heads of government.
I don't think you're going to have complete freedom of movement of labor in the 5 years he's talking about. And I don't think you're going to have full, free convergence of currency within 5 years either. So I don't think those things are going to happen within the 5 years. But I think there are many important single market issues which I see them on the agenda, which you could address and address with urgency to have sorted out. In addition, of course, to functional cooperation matters and foreign policy coordination and security coordination.
Dr. Gonsalves agrees with concerns that Caribbean leaders have been dragging their feet on certain matters.
One or two countries have been dragging their feet on these matters. In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we allow spouses, as a matter of course, to come and we grant them the work permit very easily, but we'll prefer if we didn't have to deal with work permit for them. And as to the children or the spouse, you could access medical care just like any Vincentian, and you can go to school just like any Vincentian. We have gone ahead in practical terms addressing those, but they shouldn't be on the basis of an administrative permission. It should be juridically grounded, legislated with all of us.
An issue exists in dealing with the financing of healthcare in SVG. So says Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves as he delivered remarks at the official opening of the Modern Medical and Diagnostic Center on Monday. PM Gonsalves said that with some 73 million EC dollars earmarked to be spent on healthcare this year, persons must use these resources wisely.
Well, comrade, we pay some things on the hospital. Well, I want to let you into something. Out of every dollar which we spend on health, we collect just about 2 cents out of every dollar. People go down to the pharmacy. The whole year, you know, you will go down there and you will get 9 of the items you want, 9 out of 10. But the day you go there and you find that you don't get one, and what will Alpha do? You ain't paying more than $5 at any time, you know, and sometimes you're paying zero. You have it good, you know.
The Prime Minister urged citizens to be in good health even as the government continues to promote and provide quality healthcare services.
Need to eat better, drink better, because the real killers are diabetes and hypertension and stroke and heart problem. And of course, accidents and criminal violence. I want to ask the persons on the road, drive carefully. Because when you don't drive carefully, People get injured, you know. People die. And when you can't control your temper with the violence, people get killed, or they get chopped up, they get shot. It's a cost to the medical service and to the taxpayers of this country. So all of those things we are taking into account. But as Luke said, and as the chief medical officer said, it's better if you organize yourself in such a way that you don't have to come here at all.
With 31 new reported cases of the HIV virus, the HIV/AIDS unit said it intends to continue its testing and sensitization efforts to reduce this figure to 0. The assistant to the director of the HIV/AIDS unit, Azonia Van Loo Morris, said the unit is troubled by the report and will continue with targeted sensitization and testing, which have proven effective in reducing new cases of the disease.
So basically we have to just continue to, raise public awareness, encourage people to get tested and to know their status. And when if persons test positive, we have to ensure that we enter them into treatment and care to make sure that they can live a long and healthy life with HIV. So that's really what we're looking at. And of course, targeted prevention programs help this. So like Carnival right now, having these targeted kind of campaigns really helps us to not having higher numbers of HIV and of course getting people tested.
Van Loo Morris said the unit has again rolled out its Carnival campaign dubbed Catch the Vibe, Not the Virus, and highlighted the activities in which they are engaged.
Well, Vincy Mas is in full swing right now. We're into the last week of Carnival, so we've been doing what we've been doing for the last 2 years, which is basically condom distribution at different events. We're going to be on the road Monday and Tuesday distributing condoms. We've been at various events, and we also are still carrying out our testing and just raising public awareness of safe sex practices during the Carnival season. We've done some radio interviews, we've done some social media promotions as well. So that's basically what we're doing, just trying to get the message out there and make sure that people understand and know that, we are here for them during the Carnival season.
Van Loo Morris encouraged the public to take care of their general and sexual health, general and sexual health, I apologize.
That alcohol is involved during Carnival. You have lowered inhibitions, you take part in risky behavior. So we really just want you to protect yourself, be safe, get tested, use your condoms correctly and consistently, and catch the vibe, not the virus.
Alright, then they can come to the HIV/AIDS unit if they wish to have a demonstration on condoms?
Yes, and if you don't know how to use condoms properly, you can come to the HIV/AIDS unit. You can also go to the Planned Parenthood Association or your local health centers, and they can provide information and demonstrations on how to use condoms correctly, and they can also give you condoms as well.
Welcome back to Carnival Beat. Inspector Henry Providence of the SVG Traffic Division is calling on licensed firearm holders to take due care during the Carnival season. In an interview with SVG-TV News, Providence said firearms should only be used to protect someone's life and highlighted the law pertaining to the legal discharge of one's weapon.
Persons are of the opinion that if you're in a crowded area and something happens, we have seen it in the past where persons will take their firearm and they will fire into the air, or they fire what we term, some persons term that 1-inch shot. But as I said, the law speaks again, you just firing a firearm in the public or within 100 yards of the public road. You should not be doing that. So if you find yourself in a situation where that is happening, we are not advising persons to never ever use your firearm in a situation like that, because it can harm other persons. You can try to bring a situation under control by using your firearm, and then someone innocently lose their life. So we do not advocate any persons trying to pull a firearm in a crowded area to use it where a number of persons are gathered.
Inspector Providence also advised that persons not carry their firearm in crowds such as during Carnival shows. He said the police provides adequate storage services for licensed firearm holders.
Make a strong appeal again to persons to really refrain from going into these crowded areas with your firearm. Because what is happening here again is that some of these persons with licensed firearm may be consuming alcohol, and you know what the potential, when you consume alcohol, what is the potential for that. So we want persons to generally, if you're going into a Shorty Victoria Park, for instance, and you do not want to go into the crowd with your firearm, we advise them they could leave it right here at the Central Police Station Traffic Department. We also have a mobile unit at the Victoria Park, so you can leave your firearm there, and when you return it will be handed back to you. Right? And because there's also a likely chance that you're going into the crowd with the firearm and then.
The veteran traffic cop added that one's vehicle is not a suitable storage facility for your weapon.
Another issue where persons are going to shows and leaving their firearms in their vehicles, and their vehicles for one reason it might be broken into and the firearm is stolen. That we have too much of illegal firearms on the street to allow those that are registered to also fall back into the hands of criminal and criminal elements. So we want to appeal that to persons as well, not just for say those who are going into the park, but also for those persons who have the tendency to want to leave them in their vehicles. The best practice is to leave them at the police station.
Inspector Providence is also reminding the public that the no glass bottle policy is in full effect. The no bottle policy was introduced a few years ago for public safety, as bottles were used as weapons, but there are consequences.
And persons must understand that it is an offense for you to be drinking from these glass bottles, irrespective of whether or not it was sold to you or you brought it from home. Once you're in any carnival activity and you're met with these glass bottles, it is an offense, and it is an offense where you could be charged up to, or you could be sentenced, up to 6 months in prison.
Vincy Mas 2018 is shaping up to be a great success. That's the assessment so far of the chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Ricardo Adams, as he spoke with SVG-TV yesterday. The official calendar of activities began last Friday, June 29th, and Adams said that the events held so far have already set the pace for the greatness that is left to come.
On Friday evening, we kicked off in Victoria Park with one of the better semi-finals, Calypso semi-finals that we've had in a long time. The judges had a very difficult job to do, but they chose in their wisdom, and we go forward with those persons into the finals. Sunday, unfortunately, we were all here, we were ready, everything was set up, but the rains broke, and you know, we always have to be aware of the fact that there are juniors involved, and we needed to make sure that everybody got home safely, etc. So we had that show postponed to the Monday. Yesterday we battled with the rain a little bit, but the Calypsos were really good. Again, congrats to all the winners. The Calypsos were really good. The soca was very exciting. Tomorrow we have the Steel and Glitter, and that is going to be keenly contested. Of course, you know, Cyan Hill, Starlift, Southeast, all the bands come out on that night to show who's the boss on pan. And then of course we have the section of the bands.
The CDC chairman said this coming weekend of Vincy Mas events is set to be an epic showcase of SVG's finest, starting on Friday with the EVO 4.1 event at the cruise ship berth.
Because that one we have the return of the original Black Sand. They've been performing around the place and getting rave reviews. They're going up against Touch, and of course, you know, that was one of the rivalries many years ago. On that show, we're going to have Scorcher, we're going to have El Punk, Skinny Fabulous, Problem Child, Fireman. So, as we did last year, we're taking the Vincy music through the ages, because EVO 4.1, of course, is Evolution 41. Soca Monarch, I'm a little worried as to whether we could actually hold the number of people in park who say that they're coming. Of course, you know, the big talking point this year is that Skinny has come back into the ring, and of course this is a year when Fireman is doing fantastic work, and then we have persons on the outside who challenging. Small Circle has already won 2 titles for the year. Absolutely no idea who is going to walk away with the Raga, because the Raga is even tighter than the Soca Monarch.
Adams added that the CDC intends to end off the season well, and he encouraged Vincentians and visitors alike to fully support the remaining activities.
Gone back into Juve with Paintopia. Country Meets Town is still there. And, we're looking to try and get, with some corporate sponsorship, a few more steel bands on the road for Juve. So we again, and we have the traditional competition. I understand that a lot of people are planning to dethrone CES this year. I'll know about Monday evening. That's when the T-shirt spectacle happens. Tuesday, again, we're very excited. The Masked Men have determined that they want to come back to Victoria Park and be able to tell their stories going across the stage. We've made Victoria Park free entry on Tuesday, so we encourage persons to come down and see the spectacle of the mass, that will for us culminate what we hope will be a fantastic carnival. We just basically appeal to people: have fun, have an absolutely wonderful time, allow the masqueraders who've paid to play to be able to play, and you know, do it with as much energy and enthusiasm as you want, but respect yourself, respect others, and Wednesday morning let's all be able to sit back and say that St. Vincent and the Grenadines provided a fantastic spectacle, and we continue to be the hottest carnival in the Caribbean.